Yo, what's going on, guys? It's an updated Holy Priest guide, and in this video I'm going to be covering the race, talents, covenants, stats, tier gears, legendaries, and some of what I think the best 2v2 and 3v3 arena compositions are to get the highest rating for easily as possible. Before I start this video, twitch.tv/wow. I'm streaming on there, doing viewer games and all sorts of stuff, and I'm also in the future going to make some videos on how to get to like 1800 rating as a Holy Priest. Just things like positioning and things you can work on, because if you're not working on anything, then you don't really have a goal to get better, and that's pretty much just what the videos are going to be covering. Alrighty, so for the races, the best ones on Alliance side, starting out with them first, is Human and Night Elf. The Human Spirit gain 2% more of all secondary stats. Super good. And then you get Will to Survive, which removes all stun effects. It's a trinket every 90 seconds instead of 2 minutes if you pair it up with your medallion. Or you can run Relentless with it, which is really good as well. Or you could play Relentless, Will to Survive, and IQD, the trinket that trinkets you or saves you, which should completely not be in the game. I'm not going to be really going over it because it's very stupid that a PvE trinket is in PvP again. I'll talk about BFA all over again. Not really as bad, but it shouldn't be in the game, especially not the AWC. Should not be allowed at all. My opinion. Night Elf is the best one. They get 1% haste at nighttime, 1% crit during the day. All depends on what you're playing, I guess. The haste is the best, obviously. They get movement speed, and then they get Shadow Meld, which is going to, put them in the shadows. You can Shadow Meld things like incoming cast. You can Shadow Bolt Storm Bolts if you time it up right. But I am going Human because I think I think Night Elf actually looks cooler. It definitely does. But I like Human better for the racials and just that. Horde side, Undead is really going to be the only one that I'm looking at. It has Will of Forsaken. It can get out of charms or fears. Really, really, really good. It's probably the best racial in the game. For Priest, and you can Will of Forsaken a fear, but it puts your trinket on a 30-second cooldown. Super good. Better than Human. Human can get out of stuns, but it puts your normal trinket on a 90-second cooldown, instead of the Undead that puts it on a 30-second cooldown. And then they also have just some little thing, might as well mention it. I think it's Curse of the Dead or something. I actually do not know the name of it at all. It just does extra damage. But yeah, that's all I think they have. They have Cannibalize, obviously, as well. They don't really need that though. That's pretty much it for the races. So starting off with talents, we're going to be looking at 15-row Renewed Faith, 10% healing increase over just pretty much the entire time. 25-row talent, Angelic Feather. There is a macro for this I'll be showing later. Makes it super good. You don't have to click anything. You literally just press one button and it puts a feather on your feet directly under there. So it's really good. Body and Soul can be good as well. It can be decent. I think I like Angelic Feather a lot more, but Body and Soul is more giving your teammates an increased speed, but you're not really using Power Word Shields, so it's not the best at all. Angel's Mercy, you can use this if you're getting trained down, you're having trouble surviving, you don't really need that mobility, maybe versus Ret Warrior. This can be good. 30-row talent, Guardian Angel is going to be a lock-in all the time. 35-row talent, Psychic Voice. This is going to make your fear 30-second cooldown instead of 1 minute. Really good. And then you're going to want Censure versus, whenever you're playing with like 102s, that can be super good, and just really depends on what comp you're playing. 40-row talent, Surge of Light is locked down. 45-row talent, Benediction is locked down. Prayer Mending has 25% chance to leave Renew on a target. It heals, so it's going to be really good for saving mana. It's going to go really well with your PvP talent I'll be going over, and your Conduit's going to go with that really well. Apotheosis is the lockdown as well. So PvP talents, we're going to be looking at all of these real quick. Holy Word, really good versus setup base comps like RMP and Jungle. It is good versus anything, but that's what it's really good against, setup base. You can throw this down. When the enemy team has a kidney, they're about to do a go, you can throw a holy word out on yourself or your teammate, also they could mess up, and then really good versus that. Sanctified Ground, this is alright versus if you're playing with things like a Warlock. I don't really play with a Warlock, so I never run this. It's not the best, but it can definitely it can be useful if you are playing with like a maybe a Destro Lock. You throw it on the ground, he's bursting, he can't get interrupted, so decent. Greater Heal, no. Miracle Worker, this is a lockdown always. You're gonna have Miracle Worker always locked down. It gives you 2 Serenity charges and 10% reduced cooldown, always good. Spirit of the Redeemer, no. Ray of Hope, this is a really good one. You can literally run this and do pretty much anything. If you don't want to mess around with any other talents, this is one of them ones that you can just log down if you want to. But I like to play around with everything. Delivered from Evil, no. Thought Steal, you can run this versus RMP. It's really good. You steal Polymorph before the enemy has a go, but then again, like I said, Holy Word is really good versus RMP, so I like taking Holy Word personally instead of Thought Steal. Divine Ascension, this is super good versus melee cleaves that are training you, Ret, DK. I always take this into any team that has a Death Knight because they can swap you and you will die. There's like nothing you can really do versus DKs if you don't have this. I mean, you can live for one go and then the next go, you're dead. Between goes actually versus DKs. So Divine Ascension is kind of a must versus DKs or just any melee team that trains you. It's really good. Improved Massive Spell, this is really good versus Frost Mages and Pally teams. I wouldn't really take this into Pally teams just for the Pally, but I would take this versus like a Frost Mage, but they're not really playing at the moment, so that's the only time I'd take it. You can Mass Dispel Ice Walls and then Mass Dispel both of their Ice Blocks, 2 of them, and then Cardinal Mending. This is super good versus rock comps and pretty much just good into anything. So that's with the Conduit I'll talk about later, but you can run this Cardinal Mending, this huge Prayer Mending build where you pretty much you're pressing Prayer Mending and it's topping your healing like crazy, especially you're gonna be, I'll talk about the stats later, but it goes with your stats as well. It's really good. Greater Fade, this is a lockdown all the time. We're going to play with Greater Fade and Miracle Worker lockdown all the time. Then the rest of them are just kind of, depending on what you're facing, depending on what you're playing with. Alrighty, moving on to Covenants. So I'm going to be going over Night Fae first. And I'm playing Naya because you get a lot of mastery is what I like. You can just look at the tree I'm following and this is what I play. I'll play with Resonant Words. Every time you use a holy word like Serenity or Sanctify or Chastise, it's going to make your next heal or flash heal increased by 70% up to like 90%, whatever your conduit level is. Clear Mind, you're less mana on purging and dispelling. Good overall. Condensed Animus Spear, this one's good as well. Or you can play Light's Inspiration. Light's Inspiration can be paired up with, whenever you use Desperate Prayer, Desperate Prayer heals you for 25% of your health and increases your health by 25%. And you can play the Emblem Tank Trinket, and you can use that, increase your health by like 20 to 30,000. Then you can use Desperate Prayer, increases your health by 25%, and then it's going to heal you for 25%, which is a huge heal, and then it's going to heal you with the Light's Inspiration. So it's a really big heal if you do that. You can use that, or you can use Condensed Animus Spear. I don't have the trinket on this priest just yet, so I'm just kind of rocking Condensed Animus Spear. They're both really good. Going down to Lasting Spirit, super good, just 30% pretty much with your, if this was increased to 2400 conduits, it'd be like 30% increased healing and 2 seconds increase on GS, Guardian Spirit. This is the conduit I'm talking about, Focus Mending, and then you pair this with Cardinal Mending. 2400 conduit makes it like a 90% increased healing to the initial target, and then Cardinal Mending makes it 50% stronger, which just tops your healing, and then you're going into your stats, it just makes it super big. Yeah, so that's a really good one. That's what I like to run. You can run Holy Oration instead if you want to. It's gonna make it where you get Serenities back faster, Chastise back faster, and Sanctify back faster. But personally, I enjoy using the focused mending build a lot more. That's just me. You can run both, either one I mean, but I personally like focused mending. Move with Grace is the next one. This is going to reduce your cooldown of Leap of Faith by 40 seconds. Huge, huge, huge. You're going to get Leap of Faith on a 1 minute cooldown, and it's pretty much just going to help you help your teammates kite way better. Every 1 minute you're just getting a grip. Super, super good. Very, very good. The next one is Mind Games, and I play Finthier, the Mind Games. You get Mind Games, and you go Nadija, I think it is, the one with the T, the Mad Duke's T, sorry. The Mad Duke's T, I mean. And you pretty much play the same thing as this. All the same conduits, 3 potency, I think it's endurance and 2 finesse, maybe? Yeah, 2 finesse. Exactly what I play on him. And then that's pretty much it. I also didn't say about Night Fae. You get Fae Guardians. You get a 40% damage reduction for 20 seconds. And you get a Fae Fairy. Put it on somebody, and anytime he gets hit for 20 seconds, he restores 0.5% of your mana. And then also there's a fairy that increases the cooldown recovery rate of a major ability by 100%, followed by your flash heal. Super good. Alright, so the next thing are the stats I would probably look at. The stats, you can go really any way, not crit, but you can either go haste or mastery. I was haste the last patch, it was really good, but now I've been going all mastery, and it is actually insane. My main priest is haste and mastery, but he doesn't have enough gold for the legendaries, so he's literally forced to be haste and mastery. This priest, all mastery, and he is not fully geared yet, and it is so easy to heal. I swear it is like no other. Here's a solo skirmish, and my top healing ability is Echo of Light, which is from mastery. And on my other priest, this would probably be like number 4, 3 or 4. But since I'm full mastery build, I don't have to press as many abilities. I cast slower, but I don't have to cast as much. It's extremely good. Your Cardinal Mending just is crazy healing with it. So versatility and mastery is what I would say is the best. You can obviously have some haste, but crit is the worst. What are we going to be going over next? Tier gear. You want the 4-set. 2-set and 4-set, really good. It's going to make it every time you heal, Serenity, your next heal is going to reduce the cooldown of your next Holy Word by 15 seconds. Extremely good. And then the next one is going to make your next heal increased by, every time you use a Serenity or a Holy Word, your next heal or flash heal is increased by 60%. I'm pretty sure it goes down to 30%. Plus this conduit that we're running, Resonant Words, is going to increase it by like 90% higher item level. And then, so you're going to be increased by like 120, 130, 140%, somewhere around there. Every time you use a Serenity and then a flash heal, it's going to be just a huge heal. 4-set is really big. I have all of it except for the chest. I have the helmet, shoulders, gloves, and the leggings for the best stats. And that's it for that. Legendaries. So we got 3 legendaries we're going to run. We have 2 of them that we really just need. And then, 3 is the best to have. First one is Harmonious Apparatus. Very good overall. It's going to make your Serenity on a shorter cooldown. It's going to make your Sanctify on a shorter cooldown, and your Chastise on a shorter cooldown. All of your Holy Words on a shorter cooldown. Super good, super good. You can run this versus literally anything, and yeah. Now Unity, you're obviously going to get this from the Seraph Mortis questline. It's going to make your Night Fae ability go from a 20% to a 40%, and then for Mind Games, it's just going to make your Mind Games hit harder and absorb more healing. It's just going to buff Mind Games pretty much. The next one that you're going to run instead of Harmonious Apparatus is the Res Legendary. You're going to run this into things like RMP, or maybe if you're having trouble with a melee team that keeps training you and killing you, well, run this, and you can get, the more people you heal, the more healing you do while you're dead in the Spirit of Redemption. you're going to come back with more health. And sometimes people will notice that you're running this, they won't do any damage, but you can cancel it early and then press fade. Also, super good, gives you another chance at living. Very good, especially versus Venthier rogues that are doing a whole ass one shot. You can trinket to save, and then they kill you on the next go, and then you res, and then they pretty much lose, you know. So it's very good. So the next thing, I think that's it, honestly. Yeah, 2v2 and 3v3 compositions. You know, let's go over macros real quick. Real quick first. I have Chastise 1, 2, 3. I'll have these all in the description. Here is the Angelic Feather macro. You just put your name right here. You literally press it, and it just instantly puts a feather on your ground. See, I can have my mouse over this legendary. Just press it, and it puts a feather under me. Next one is just a focused Shadow or Death. Next one, Mind Control, Stop Casting. If you press Mind Control normally, you cannot cancel it. No idea why you can't do it. Blizzard, fix that. Come on now. It's so just why can't I cancel on Mind Control? I have to make a macro for it. Slacking. Seriously. Another one, or at least I don't know how to cancel it. Maybe it's just me. Oh yeah, I'll sound stupid for that. Mind Games macro, it's just literally a focus macro. You can make a 1, 2, 3 macros for these mind games, and Shadow or Death. It's definitely better. I'm used to these focus ones. Power Infusion macro. This is going to make it where you literally just don't have to you don't have to target your teammate. So if this dude is right here, I could put his name in this, and I could be targeting the training dummy. I could press PI, and it would put PI on the paladin instead of me. Super good. Yeah, it's really good. Next one I have is just a Resonator one. Instead of having to press Resonator, I can literally just press the macro, and it throws it on the ground wherever my mouse is. Just a curse over macro. I'll have these in the description. Yeah, what else? Next 2v2 and 3v3 arena compositions. What I found the most success with in 2v2 arenas we're gonna start out with is Hunter Priest and Rogue Priest. Those are definitely the best ones. Feral Priest is also very good. Hunter Priest and Rogue Priest are definitely the best ones. Specs, I don't play with Marksmanship Hunters because I just personally do not like Marksmanship Hunters. Well, I like them, but I don't trust the people who play them. They can never land traps. Very annoying. And versus Hunters, you play Stun. Rogues, you play Short Fear. And yeah, 3v3 arena compositions. My favorite comp overall is Jungle. That's what I play. It's Feral and Hunter Priest. Super good. That's what I play at like 2800 CR right now. We're trying to push to like 3k right now. And then another team is RMP. Of course, you know RMP, Rogue, Mage, Priest. Who doesn't know RMP? Everybody just does not like facing it. But it gets better the more you learn. And if you want to figure out how to learn how to play versus RMP, I am going to be covering things like that in the video that I was talking about how to play and get better and increase your rating as a Holy Priest, and just things you need to work on, positioning, everything like that. Before I end the video, I am streaming at twitch.tv/tar_wow. If you want to check it out, come check it out. And we're doing viewer games. Come ask some questions, maybe about the anything, Holy Priest Guide, Hunter Guide, positioning, when the videos are going to come out, and I'll let you know. So if you enjoy the video, press like, comment down if I should join this guild right here. Probably not. And yeah, peace out.